welcome back to the 9 to 5 Dropouts. I'm Josh,
And I'm Andy.
and we are here to talk about why we've been absent for a little over a year.
And what not to do if you're full timing.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. First up, what not to do when you're full timing, how we ended up in our current location, and what's coming next on our YouTube channel. This is the relaunch of the 9 to 5 Dropouts. So there's going to be plenty more videos coming, but first, let's talk about what happened. So I think the last video we did, we were in Granby, Colorado, and from there we made our way up to Idaho, and I think we were there for about a month, and then we went to...
Which was beautiful.
Yeah.
We will probably come out with a video on things that we saw there. And we stayed for a whole month, and it was at the Yellowstone RV Resort or something like that. We can give you guys the name. It's a great little place, and it had like the proximity to everything was so good. I mean, Wyoming was right there, Montana was right there, Yellowstone. It was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So we stayed there for about 30 days, and life was great. We were doing good. And then we headed to Oregon, specifically Mount Hood. And I think we almost ran out of gas 3 times in a row because of poor planning on my part.
I told him. Told him to get gas.
And I kept saying, "Oh, I can make it." But I think
we ended up hitting the desert, which I didn't even know there was a desert in Oregon. So you're welcome if you're watching this and you're going through Eastern Oregon. Do not cross the line and not, like, right before you cross that Oregon line at the bottom, just get gas somewhere because there is nowhere. There's like
nothing.
Legit wild horses running around out there. It's like the Wild Wild West.
Yes, it is. So we did that. So that was like the first thing that not that big of a deal. We made it, but then we finally made it to Mount Hood, and I mean it was cold and it was pouring rain. And got to the campground, and it's late and it's dark, and I'm going through the campground, pulling the camper, and I guess there was some construction like the day before, and they had left some all thread laying by the road, and it punctured the tire. Luckily, I have the TPMS system on the RV, and I got the alert, and it was dropping very quickly, so I knew I literally had like 2 minutes to back this camper into the spot.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so I got the camper backed into the spot perfectly before it went completely flat.
Pouring rain.
Yeah, but then I was like, well, that stinks because I still need to change this tire. So I go out there and I start wrenching the tire
before
off.
It goes flat, guys, because remember, if it goes flat, it's gonna bend something, and you might have way more money on your hands then.
Yeah,
you're putting out. Yeah.
Right. So, I had to pull forward because I have this little thing you like drive up on, and I can put a link to that in the description. That thing was a lifesaver. I forget what it's called, but it's basically just if you have a double axle trailer, you can drive up one set of axles, one side of the camper on it, and that way you can change a tire out so much easier. But as I was doing that, I was in such a rush, and I was so angry that I went to the back kitchenette, left the door open. I was just getting my tools out.
Like the flap that comes up?
Yeah. So it comes up, and then I needed to back the camper up onto this ramp. Well, I completely forgot to look for trees around me, and so not only did I have a flat tire, but then I also
The tree definitely won. The door did not win.
No.
So that was damaged.
Yeah.
Then he had to change the tire, so that took way longer than expected because what was it? Like it needed a special, or it was on too tight.
Yeah, it was on too tight. Yeah, the lug nuts. Whoever put the lug nuts on from the factory, I don't even know.
And it was pouring rain. It was cold. Okay, so we'll spare you guys. Anyway, it was awful.
It was awful.
It was really awful, but we made it.
Yeah.
We were alive. Thankful for that.
Right.
Got set up, and in Oregon, we're gonna put some pictures for Oregon. We're gonna do another video because Oregon was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Lots of good things there. So.
Yeah. So from there, we left Oregon and started to make our way to Moab, Utah, and we were almost to Moab. And again, I was almost out of fuel, and I had no choice, had to pull in this little gas station, and our travel trailer is 37 foot, and
It was not made for
it was not made for
travel trailers.
this gas station was not made for RVs at all. I pull in there.
I'm at the inside, like paying for our water or whatever that we were getting, and I just see everybody. So I'm like face this way, and I can't see out. I see everybody. They're just like, oh, and they're looking out the window, and I just knew, as a wife, like you just know if your husband's feeling distressed near you, and I felt this like heaviness, and I was like, something just happened to us. It was us that they're looking at.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I just saw Josh out there like this with his hand to his head, just like, oh my gosh. So I didn't even I walked out and he was like looking at it, assessing the situation, and I just was like trying to be supportive and just walked right by, got in the truck and didn't say anything because he already knew that he messed up. Maybe it was, whatever. So it sucked.
In hindsight, if you absolutely have to get fuel at a small gas station and you have no other choice and you have a tow behind, unhook somewhere safely. I know it's a pain in the butt. Unhook somewhere safely, go get your fuel, and then just hook back up. Don't try to do what I did. I pulled up to the pump, got fuel, everything was going great, and I had to pull towards the store, and I thought I had enough room. And I have the rear view camera on the back, and it looked like I was fine, but I ended up clipping the camper on the back left-hand side on one of the gas station bollards that protects the pump, and I mean it ripped out the whole bottom left quarter of the camper, the whole rear wall, like came up like a flap.
So and then after that, somebody ended up something fell off of their car and then it went under our camper and it ruined more underneath and it cut some
the
a
propane
gas
line
and
the propane
it was
line,
just things like this constantly. And here's bottom line for you guys is we just want to let you know, take your time, because I think we were so rushed. We were so excited to show you guys all these new places, and when you're on the road, that's when the things happen, of course. They don't usually happen when you're just parked somewhere.
No.
So we learned staying 2 to 3 nights or even a week at a time, it just really wasn't the life that we wanted. We wanted a carefree life, fun life, and that just added to problems. Getting on that highway is just, there's always going to be, it's bouncing around, things are moving around. There's always going to be something. So I think our main tip is just stop and smell the roses. If you're full-time, stay for a whole month somewhere.
A month.
The times that we really enjoyed ourselves the most was when we stayed for 30 days at a time. Plus, you can get better deals at campgrounds. It's like $600 a month as opposed to $75 a night or whatever. Like it's super, way more affordable to do it that way. Just it's fun to see people go from place to place, and it's exciting because you want to get to that place, but just not worth the hassle. You need time for your mental health to recoup, because it's a lot.
And don't drive like I was driving. We would stay somewhere for 2 nights, and then I would drive 8 to 10 hours at a time, and then stay one night in one place, and then the next day drive 8 to 10 hours, and it was too much. We were getting worn out, and we were done. Like we said, things were breaking, and I was a mechanic in a previous life. I was able to take care of most of things, and in fact, the damage that I caused by running into that bollard, I was actually able to fix that up pretty well to the point where there was no problems, and we were able to get that fixed once we got to Florida, which brings me to our next subject. So,
what's next? Why we ended up in Florida?
Yeah. And specifically, we live in the Florida Keys, and what brought us here. So this really came as no surprise to us that we are here.
I wanted to live here. I wanted to move back, and Josh was like, no, I don't know. And we really got sold on the idea of buying land up in Central Florida. It was in Northport. We found some land. It was a corner lot, a whole acre. It was awesome. Yeah. We had lots of space. We were going to get just an amazing house for the price. So we ended up buying the land, and then we were like, we're going to live in our RV in the Keys for a year while the house is being built. Yeah. And we got down here, and we were out taking the dogs for a ride in the golf cart, and Josh looked at me and he was just like, we belong here. And I was like, I know, that's all he had to say. And I was like, it's done. We're not building a house. We lost money on that, but we ended up selling it and recouping the money, the land. And it took us 6 months of
Yeah.
looking at some pretty crappy houses. The houses down here are sometimes like out of Miami Vice era, so you know, like and we got lucky. The house that we have, super modern, totally redone. We're on a canal, and we love it.
Yeah, we love it down here. And what brought us back to the Florida Keys is, you know, I was in Key West for 8 years when I was in the Coast Guard, and then Andy, she lived there before I met her for what, almost 10 years, 11 years?
I was
10
here
years?
2 years before I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were here for like 10 to 12 years. He did two tours here, and Keegan was born here. We got married here. It's a special place, and if you've ever been here, it is a special place. So no regrets there. We're happy we made the decision, and
Yes.
fast forward of what's next for our channel.
So here we go. Well, what's next for the channel is we are a little bit of everything. A lot of Florida Keys living.
Still RV, even though
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
full-time RV living,
Yeah.
we're still going to go to campgrounds and travel with our RV to show you guys our adventures.
Yeah.
But mostly,
I would say mostly it's going to be about, you know, tourism, the best spots in the Florida Keys to visit. In Key West, the best places to eat, the best happy hours. I think the next video we're going to do is the best key lime pie, which will be out in just a few days.
yeah, so anything basically
know?
from Marathon down, which is considered the lower keys, that's what we're going to be covering for you guys. So it's going to be all over the place. Like Josh might find 5 new things for the RV that he loves. He's going to do videos on that. He's going to do videos of himself spearfishing, him and the boys, you know, spearfishing and
Paddleboarding in our canal, seeing what we can find.
our adventures,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, when we go out on the water. Even showing you guys like what types of fish there are here in the Keys, which ones we like to eat. All the time we're seeing people ask, where's the best key lime pie? Where do we eat? And we just felt like, you know, why not change the YouTube to actual things that people are asking and wanting to know. The Keys have been a huge destination since COVID, and it continues to grow, and we just want to help you guys out and show you our adventures, and maybe we will, you know, make some people want to come to the Keys and want to visit the Keys, so we can support, you know, our local community that way.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're just finding this channel, that's what this channel is going to be about from now on. And thank you. And
all the things Florida Keys, the
Yes.
Southern Florida Keys. So
yeah. So please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hit that little bell so you get the notifications for our videos. And thanks again, guys.
thanks, guys.
All right, bye.